colder yet on Friday, a high in the lower 20s with a chance of some snow showers by Friday afternoon. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Some people buy a $20 strawberry. Others listen to us for free. One of these choices is smart.
97.5 and 1240 KFH. Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita. KNSS HD2 Clearwater, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey, Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Hey, Steeler fan, be careful what you wish for. You wished Mike Tomlin would quit. Great. You got what you wanted, but you also ended up with Mike McCarthy as your head coach. And the next Steeler fan that I talked to who thinks that he's an upgrade over Tomlin will be the first. And they're not wrong. The Steelers didn't run Tomlin off. The fans did because he could not get them over the hump. The same reason Jerry Jones broke McCarthy off in Dallas, and the same reason Green Bay did him before that. Hiring a guy because his dad owned a bar in the area and he might be able to convince a 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers to return are not reasons to hire a guy. Best case scenario, they're just good enough to back into the playoffs and get knocked the hell out once again. Safe, conservative, and uninspired is a terrible way to go through life, and that's exactly what this hire is. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. And if you really don't mind, can I get you to go to our YouTube page at Jim Rome and hit the sub button there? Thanks so much.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. We need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
There is no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks. Just pick 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projections, and submit your lineup to play. Download the Prize Picks app right now. Use my code ROME and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
Welcome in, everybody. Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. We're glad to be here with you. Max Power producing. We've got Shreyas Laddha, our KU Insider, coming up a little later in the show. K-State falls in a non-K-State type game last night in West Virginia. We'll explain, but a loss is a loss at this point. We have lots of other things. The Bills make their hire. We're getting ready for the Super Bowl. The Peterson-DeBonsa debate is ongoing. Can't wait to talk about that. Talk to Shreyas about that as well, what he's hearing. I know he's talking to NBA scouts all the time about it. But we'll have it all for you, and we'll have it your comments too. 869-1240 on the KFH hotline. You can leave us video comments, Facebook, YouTube, X. We can take those right over the air. Thanks for watching on 12 News Connected. Thanks for listening to us as well on the Odyssey app. If you're on the Odyssey app right now, you can leave us a voice message, which is kind of fun. We got a good show for you, and it's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring chili for a limited time. Hearty beef, no bean chili, perfect for lunch, and now available at all 3 WBC locations, East, West, and Historic Delano. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. TJ, I got to tell you, Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday is just testing my limits here. I am partaking. I have one on, but I cannot in good faith sit in my basement in a thin Hawaiian shirt only. So I had to throw something over the top of it.
I think the thought of a Hawaiian shirt just pisses me off with how cold it is outside.
Well, I'm trying. You know, you try to throw the middle finger to Mother Nature, to the cold now.
It's throwing it to us.
It is. It's a losing battle this week. I forget the number of hours that we've been under freezing. We'll finally get out of that today, but it's a lot. It's the most since like 2021. Not cool. Not cool at all. But we're surviving here on Sports Daily. It is college basketball season at least to get us by. Did you watch KState last night? That was something.
I did. Let me tell you, I fell asleep because it was an absolute snooze fest because nobody made a bucket for like 10 minutes straight.
It was something. You watch the first half and you're like, wow, K-State actually played some defense. And then they scored 22 points and a half.
Yeah.
And then the second half didn't get a whole lot better. 59-54 losers to West Virginia. BJ Haggerty with a couple of chances late to continue the game. Neither look was worth anything. He and Tang, maybe just a little bit of beef there. I don't know. It is not going good. It's not going good. West Virginia stays unbeaten at home. There was a moment there in the second half before that last West Virginia run. I was like, okay, here it is. They're going to get this win on the road at a place where nobody else has been able to win this year. And maybe that can be something because they've played good defense and they've played a little different style. And then it just unraveled on them. And now I don't know what the ramifications of that are going to be.
And dare I say it, they probably should have won the game last night. They had a lead
for sure
late in the second half.
Yeah. They should have won the game last night.
It's just I don't think they can get out of their own way at this point. Like I think it weighs on 20-year-olds when you lose so many games in a row. We hear that all the time. And like games that you're supposed to win turn into losses because of the streak that you're on or the skid that you're on.
Yeah. And look, they're banged up. They don't want to overlook that. They've only got 10 healthy players right now. They're missing 2 starters. So it's just piling up on them. I don't think the body language looks particularly good. I'm having a hard time getting the correct vibe from Jerome Tang, after the games. There's a disconnect, I think. And whether it can be connected before the end of this season, I don't know. But the massive buyout everybody's talked about, I mean, you got to think about it. This could get real bad. This could get bad if something happens. And look, as we get word that Wichita State yesterday, according to the Wichita Eagle, has fired a bunch of staffers from the athletic department, and it's getting a little tighter on a day after Rutgers is famously very much in the hole. Now, I don't know how Rutgers is in the Big Ten. I don't think their peers are. But either way, economics matter. So maybe a buyout is a big thing in this whole situation.
It definitely is. That's the reason that a lot of people say that it hasn't happened yet. I mean, think about like $18 million.
I don't know that K-State's firing a mid-season coach or anything, but
I mean, if you're last place in the Big 12, like there's conversations to be had. I don't know if Gene Taylor's that kind of guy, though, I think is the reason why. But I also think that the other reason why is that like $18 million pays for your football roster. Like you can't just light that on fire,
Yeah. I know that I think it goes. It's 18 million now. I'm sure it goes down after next year. I don't know. I wish they could just turn it around. Like I wish we could not have to have this conversation because I hate the conversation. It's not fun. It's pretty bad actually. It's pretty uncomfortable conversation. But it's 18 and a half, a little more than 18.5 million right now. If it stays at that number, what does it go after? So after this year, or after this year goes to 15. But I mean, at what point, TJ? So I'm looking at this according to Topeka Capital Journal. At what point is it not too expensive if this continues? I mean, it's getting worse every year. So you have next year it's 15. Year after that it's almost 13. And then 10.
I mean, the thing about I saw that Ryan Wallace, the old Go Power Cat guy, brought this point up. It's like if you do it, you are basically handcuffing yourself to saying that we're going to go hire a cheap coach and he's not going to have a lot of resources for a while. And that's just the world they're going to have to live in and just hope that it's better than what it is. But they can't fire a coach and go get the splashy hire and say, if you come here, we're going to supply you with this budget and you're going to build awesome team. Like you can't do what Calipari did. Like Calipari lost Musselman and got Calipari, and K-State's not going to do anything to the magnitude of that. Like they couldn't. Like it would have to be. I don't know. I mean, we joke about the MIAA hire, but like I don't think that if they do that, I don't know if they can afford to go get Ben McCollum from Drake, like for example, who went to Iowa. Like I don't know if they can afford to go get.
Well, maybe they can, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe Tang can just find the right mix of players. But the problem is, I thought this was going to be the right mix of players. It felt like it was going to be. So I don't know what the right mix of players is.
It also
maybe you just do take a crack at it again next year. I mean, you're trying to invest right now in the football team.
That's the
and
thing.
buyouts.
Like,
we with the Wichita State. The reason I brought that up, like, yeah, we can sit here and say, oh my gosh, paying the players and all that. Wichita State spent far more. I would venture to guess far more buying out coaches than it has paying players.
Oh, 100%.
So you got to roll with it, and that's why, like, for us, and we both like Jerome Tang. I just give us something, team, program, something, because this is this has the potential here to reach points that we haven't seen before.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the hard part. That's why it's a conversation, because like the longer you keep it going, the worse it could get, and then it just compounds, and it's like, well, you want me to come play there? You guys were last in the Big 12.
I mean, I think money always talks. So, you can always get players to come because they've invested the resources. But at some point, it's not cool to come to K-State anymore either.
Exactly.
And that's what you don't want.
Hey, it is cool saving $18 million of buyout money and building a roster with. Let's build an $18 million roster and see what happens.
That's true. Or just, playing a little better and winning, getting a little healthier, finishing a game out on the road at West Virginia. They did not do that last night. Again, 59-54 losers. All right. When we come back, the news of yesterday, the Buffalo Bills make their decision. Top job on the market, according to many? Huh. We'll have that discussion next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Thank you to Crestview Country Club for being a great sponsor of the program. Get in there, check out the great food, the great bar, hit the simulator while there's snow on the ground outside, and enjoy it, because coming soon will be spring, 36 holes of golf. We'll have a pool rocking and rolling after that. Can't keep my wife away from the tennis courts in this kind of weather. Give Crestview a call. They got all kinds of different memberships, all kinds of different levels of membership depending on your needs, and the best prices you'll find all year right now. Give Crestview a call. Tell them we sent you from Sports Daily. Welcome back in, everybody. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland here on this Tuesday. All right, TJ, the Bills have their guy. I think we've, in the initial phases of this, we all kind of wondered, are they just going to hire Joe Brady? And then as time went by, that conversation kind of faded a little bit. And now all of a sudden they hired Joe Brady. So you fire McDermott for winning a ton of games, and then you promote from within his staff. It seems like a stretch to me.
I mean, I don't think that there was ever a world where it was a good idea, honestly. Like, I understand the devil's advocate argument that to be made about, like, Joe Brady was one of the hottest names in the carousel for other jobs. Why are we going to let him leave Buffalo? Well, the reason that you don't do that is because you just fired the head coach that was his boss. Like, and if you do it all and you cite the culture, like, it's not like saying that, like, hey, the defense wasn't good enough, we got to run you out of town. The reason they ran him out of town was saying, like, hey, we can't get over the hump enough to go win a Super Bowl. So let's just hire the guy that worked under you. And now it's like it doesn't make any sense at all. Like and then once you throw in the owner's comments about the team and everything is what really confuses people now is that like, oh, you probably shouldn't have said all that if you were going to hire a guy that works for you, but they did, and it just doesn't make any sense. I don't think there's any fan. I don't know if there's any Bills fans that are happy about it at all. I don't know if there's anybody in the world that thinks that was a great idea.
I don't know that. The thing about I don't know that there was as much noise from Bills fans as there were, say, from a lot of Steelers fans about Mike Tomlin, because McDermott was winning playoff games, right?
I don't think that Bills fans wanted McDermott to get fired.
I don't either, and I don't think he should have been. First and foremost, I do think the Bills have always been enamored with Joe Brady, always have been. And so the one thing that I will say about this hire is this is one where we don't have the proper context to really give a true evaluation of this. This is one where you have to have an intimate knowledge of the people, of how they work, of relationships with players, all of those things to get a good understanding. Sometimes I think teams just say, not winning the Super Bowl is not enough. We've got Josh Allen and we have to make a change. Well, it's all about Josh Allen. So you don't want to disrupt what's made Josh Allen great. So, unless you're keeping Joe Brady or promoting, I guess, from within the staff, like there are parts of it that do make sense. If you're just saying not winning the Super Bowl is not good enough, we need a scapegoat. Sorry, Sean McDermott, that's you. I guess. I mean, again, I don't agree with it, but we also don't know those relationships and those inner workings. And, I'd love to get a lie detector hooked up to Josh Allen and ask him what he thinks of this decision. You know what I mean? Like,
but
maybe he has all the respect in the world for.
I know. That's what a big part of the conversation was, the fact that I think it was Deanna Rossini said, like, Josh Allen will be part of the interview process. Like, the Bills wanted to make sure that the quarterback was in on the meetings and help make the decision, basically. And, that's kind of a polarizing thing. Some people think that's a great idea. Some people think that's a really bad idea. But I would have to say that, if it's we see this all the time. Like, for example, like the Penn State players holding up signs saying, just hire the interim coach. It's like, the players always want to keep the coach. They always do. And so if
closer to home, Isaac Brown.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, all the players wanted to keep Isaac Brown. And so, like, if you ask Josh Allen, it's like, hey, would you rather have the guy that you've played for the last 3 or 4 years, or would you rather run him out of town and bring somebody else in? Like, he's probably going to say Joe Brady. And I think that I don't know, like,
you can't dip your toe in the water. You either dive in,
yes,
or 100%.
Like, it doesn't. It's counterproductive. It's a waste of money. Like, you bought out a contract just to
Well, that's their money. It doesn't work against cap. Who cares?
I know, but like I don't know. Like, in my mind, like, it had to have been. If you want to justify this in any way, like, it had to have been Joe Brady going in there and saying, I'm going to do this differently, this differently, this differently, this differently, and this differently. What we were doing before didn't work. And there's no way that that's true, though.
Sure it is. Sure it is. Think about in your professional life. Yours is a little younger, but think about it over the years. My first boss in the business, I guess, whatever. Great friends. Still great friends. When he left, it was like, well, yeah, I'd do some things different. And here's what I would do if I got the job. Now, he wasn't let go or anything, but that wouldn't have been a deterrent to hold somebody else down. Of course, there are still good people in the organization. And of course that Joe Brady has different ideas than Sean McDermott. Of course he does. My question is, you're going from a guy who was consistently winning double-digit games and winning playoff games to somebody who's never been a head coach.
No.
And your baseline is Super Bowl, right? You just told us that by firing McDermott. You've set a baseline of you better win the Super Bowl. That's a big ask of Joe Brady. right out of the gate. Like if you don't win the Super Bowl, we're here to tell you, Joe Brady, that winning 2 playoff games and reaching the AFC Championship is not enough.
I know, man. Like
that's the hard part for me. It's that there was this would be easier to swallow, I think, if McDermott was struggling. They fired McDermott and then hired Brady. Like that, I think is easier. The hard part is the only reason you fire McDermott is because you've set this expectation that is crazy. And now you're just going to say, all right, now you go take a crack at it. I mean, this is like, I don't know. It's like Star Wars when Darth Vader throws one lieutenant out the window and says, all right, you're up next. Get after it. Whatever.
True.
Good luck.
I mean, that's like back to this point here. Like, I agree that you can work for somebody and have differing opinions on things, but like, if they are going to go as far as to fire a head coach that has won double-digit games all the time, like you had to have had polarizing different views than him to make this okay. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do this stuff because of a culture change, and that's the only reason why.
No, that they don't need a culture change.
That's why they fired McDermott.
The culture change. They just need somebody. Look,
okay,
the problem is they should not have fired McDermott.
Yeah.
Right. That's the problem. Because McDermott isn't the reason the Bills have or have not won Super Bowls. The Chiefs are the reason the Bills have or have not won Super Bowls.
Okay, I won't say culture change, but they're not firing somebody because the offense wasn't good enough or the defense wasn't good enough. It's like, it's an intangible thing of saying like,
we just need timeouts differently. That's why
there's nothing different. Yeah, like exactly. That's why I'm saying culture. The culture's fire. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I don't want to say it's stupid hire, but stupid fire.
The hump. I say they can't get over the hump, and they make a decision to keep it within the coaching staff that also could not get over the hump. And then, to Rick's point that he brings up here, like, this is the part that makes it really confusing now.
The part that makes it worse, yes.
Is the press conference that they had with the owner and the GM, and the owner basically said like, hey, the GM did nothing wrong. He didn't want to draft Keon Coleman. That was the coaching staff. They're a bunch of idiots, basically. And then they hired somebody that was in that coaching staff. That part doesn't make any sense at all.
That is the part that makes it worse, because that was just the weirdest thing to do, right? To go and throw Keon Coleman under the bus and say, I think it was intended, right, to be a vote of confidence for the general manager or something, and it just got away from him. That's why. And that's not like an owner or an ownership group that is used to getting up there and, talking a lot. And I think that one probably just got away from them. Like, there is definitely a world where they did that and immediately were like, we got to call Keon Coleman. Like, listen, buddy, I don't know what just happened. I'm really sorry. That is not like that got away from me. I was like,
I can't wait. I can't wait till he talks at training camp just to see what that press conference is going to be.
I don't know enough about Keon Coleman. I think if he was going to be a turd about it, he already would have been. So he's probably fine. But like, just the whole thing has been so weird. It's why you don't fire McDermott. Like, I just like that part of it doesn't make any sense. It's not the same as Harbaugh just missed the playoffs. McDermott just won a playoff game. Right? Like, it's not the same as these other ones where we've seen high-profile coaches go. They consistently had a high level of success. Now, I will also tell you that this is an impossible task, because I was a big advocate to get rid of Mike McCarthy in Dallas. They were winning 13 games a year. They weren't winning any playoff games, but there was a high level of success there. That one was one where you could see it, though, in-game decisions and maybe that's what it is. Maybe there is some, discussion and that's what I'm saying about, like, this is one where you really do need an intimate knowledge that you're never going to get to understand. Like, what was happening internally where McDermott's both doing a great job, but people close to it can see it maybe and say, damn it, we missed an opportunity there. Like, we could have done this, we could have done that. And I'm having a hard time figuring out what it's going to be for Buffalo, because they've been a great offense. They've a lot of times been a really good defense. They're kind of an aging roster that went through a lot of turnover last year, a little less this year, and they've been able to weather the storm through all that. And so now, I don't know, man. I just don't know what Joe Brady as a first-time head coach is going to be able to do better than Sean McDermott, who has been successful essentially every year of his career? Like what can be the thing that changes on that?
I mean, could you imagine?
Go ahead.
I love bringing this argument up just to compare it to NFL terms. James Franklin. Penn State fires James Franklin. Could you imagine if they promoted Andy Kotelnicki to be the head coach? Like, that wouldn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, look, the Cowboys did it when they fired McCarthy. It happens. Like promoting from within happens,
but not when you're firing a high-level, high-performing team. If you know, like that. That's
it's when it's the high. I don't know.
And I'll say there is the argument that I brought up at the beginning of this segment. Like, there's a chance Joe Brady's going to be awesome, and there's a chance that Joe Brady could have left and taken the Cardinals job and taken him to the NFC Championship, because Joe Brady did a lot of really good stuff in Buffalo, and that's why everybody loved him. And that is just, that's the scary part for Buffalo, is that saying that, we're going to let you go. There's a chance that he could go and be awesome, and then everybody's going to say, well, why didn't we just hire him for our head coach? Our head coach sucks.
I wish I could give you a strong opinion on whether I think this is going to work or not, because I don't have one. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, but it could work, right? They could make a couple of roster decisions. The AFC stays down and you still have Josh Allen, and this works. Like that's a possibility. Let's go to the KFH hotline. Andy holding on this. Andy, what's on your mind?
Good morning, gentlemen. I've got kind of a hodgepodge of topics this morning, and feel free to hop in as necessary. First, I know your show is fairly early, but TJ has inspired a drinking game for me, which is anytime he says causation does not mean correlation or correlation doesn't mean causation, it's an automatic drink of either vitamin water or whatever heavier drink you want to have.
That's my mom. That's my mom being a math teacher, paying attention in the algebra classes.
Very logical. I like it. Second, if we hadn't already killed the NFL Pro Bowl every single year for the last decade that they've continued to keep this dog alive, Shedeur Sanders is now a Pro Bowler before Joe Flacco ever became a Pro Bowler. And I'm sure there's a laundry list of other folks that Shedeur has somehow just of, but I understand what happened in the AFC this year, but for him to get chosen with the stats that he had and the limited amount of play, if that's not the nail in the coffin for that, I don't know what is. Quit playing that stinking game. Give him an honorary roster and be done with it. And then jumping over to basketball, Nebraska is a basketball school. Mm-hmm. It is very interesting to take a look at the top 10 in NCAA basketball right now. If you look at the top 10 and their records, there's like a combined 17 losses. I think Houston has 2 losses in one of the most powerful conference, if not the best conference in the nation. And they're like 10th as far as the rankings. So come tournament time, those number 1 and 2 and 3 seeds are going to be really, really powerful. Nebraska just took their first loss last night. They were an 11.5 point underdog at Michigan last night, and they played the part, man. They were in the lead for most of that game, and Michigan's really stinking good. And to be transparent, I've got a ticket on them to win the national title. But, I mean, Nebraska hung in there, and I would be very surprised if they don't have a decent run going into the tournament. And then finally, and I'll wrap up, Jacob, your comment on Nagy maybe not being a mutual parting, I can see that, but I also see where it could have been, and here would be my reasoning behind it. I would say of all the offensive coordinators in the NFL over this past season, he was probably under the most heat of any of them, and his situation, I think, is unique because so many people like his predecessor in Bellamy, and they also wanted Bieniemy to come back as his replacement. So you've got that culture built in with Kansas City where you've already got like somebody that they want to ascend to the throne after you again. And I could see where that's just not a situation that's very healthy for Nagy. And he said, you know what, maybe I need a fresh start somewhere else, and I'm willing to get out of here. So that's all I got today, gentlemen. Curious to get your feedback on any of that. Have a great day.
Appreciate it, Andy. A couple things. We'll start in reverse order. The strange thing about the Nagy thing is that there was this tone that like it was agreed upon before last year, right? Like they had set it out like, okay, here's what we'll do at the end of this year. Like, I don't think it works that way.
I don't think so either. I think that, like I said yesterday, I think that, there may have been an understanding halfway through the season of like, listen, guys, this is not working. Like we got to figure this out. And then I think that they may have like had the meeting of the minds, and it was like, all right, man, like you ready to find the new job? And I think that may be the mutual part of it. That there's maybe 80% Chiefs, 20% Nagy.
Yeah, and it goes to the Eagles, which is a great heel turn. I think it's still just expected. I don't know if it's official or not. But if he does, anyway, let's say it that way. It's a great story and a great heel turn. On Nebraska ball, I get a lot wrong. Sometimes we get it right. Told you on November 21st when they played K-State. This is a great team that everybody's going to fall in love with. They're fun to watch, and they're real.
Also, Andy isn't the idiot like us, and he watched the top 5 matchup last night, not K-State, West Virginia, I see.
Yeah, no, I don't know what he was doing with Nebraska, Michigan when K-State was trying to hand West Virginia their first home loss with a combined 50 points scored in the first half of that game. Clearly not a glutton for punishment, but like we are. And I always appreciate people that catch little idiosyncrasies like causation. What is it?
Correlation does not equal causation.
There you go.
You see the graph, it doesn't mean
drink up,
that.
Everybody. We'll be right back with more Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83-10-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for trying to keep us warm this morning. We'll do our best. Correlation does not imply causation, according to Google, is the correct terminology.
It's the same thing. Have you seen this is the one that always sticks with people. I couldn't remember exactly what it was, or I would have said it last segment whenever he was on the line. Have you ever seen the graph of ice cream sales versus shark attacks? It's the same trend line. Ice cream sales and shark attacks. Does the shark attack cause the ice cream sale? Probably not, but the lines correlate. Correlation does not equal causation.
Imply causation.
It's the same thing.
I'm not sure that no, it's not the same thing. Imply and equal are not the same thing.
In this case, it is.
Well, listen, it's a level of nerd we don't need on this program. So if we could keep the math someplace else, please.
Oh, okay.
Correlation does not imply causation. I actually like that a little bit. I like that. I appreciate it.
You never heard that before? That was like,
yeah, no, I have. I just, when you said equal and not imply, that was the thing that was holding me back from it. No, I've heard it. Thanks to Andy for paying that much attention to the program. All right. What about the NBA draft? Fran Fraschilla said that he's hearing on the broadcast the other night when Peterson was on the Arizona BYU broadcast. He was hearing DeBonce's getting some run and moving up draft boards. So I looked yesterday, and it is starting to happen. You're starting to see DeBonce called the #1 pick now. I get it. He reminds me of Durant, got a little more size. Does that team picking need a point guard? Like, there are some things that are going to come into play. I don't think it's a cut and dry situation. And then you factor in Peterson's been hurt. They've both been fantastic. DeBonce's played in twice as many games as Peterson. Peterson's been really good when he's been out there. But I could see it. This class reminds me of when we're getting into some of these all-time historic classes, now a lot of these guys haven't played, but when you get into it and there's so many guys that you're going to feel good about in the NBA draft, like you're probably getting 6, 7, 8, 9 deep where you're like, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that pick. Dwayne Wade falling down the draft board kind of a situation. But we'll see this weekend. I think it's interesting. I wonder if it's going to get as simple as I either need a point guard or I don't need a point guard with who's taken number 1 overall. Because you don't really want to draft 2 point guards, right? Like if you're, I don't know. I don't watch enough NBA, but I don't know who's a bad team that could be in the mix that's established at point guard. Or
the Indiana Pacers have the first pick right now. They have Tyrese Halliburton when he's healthy.
So, yeah, are they more inclined then to take DeBonsa because they have Halliburton? Probably.
But I don't know. You don't want to be the guy that misses on Darren Peterson when it's right in front of your face.
The guy that misses on AJ DeBonsa?
I think it's just a preference. I don't think that you can make this pick positionally. Like we're talking about this Chiefs pick they're about to have. Like, I think that it's just you take your pick of which one you think is going to be the all-star that everybody thinks they're going to be, and they probably both will be, but you're talking about next level. Like, I can't remember a draft with this much hype since Zion, basically. Cooper Flagg was a big one, but Zion in his class
overall draft, you got to go back further.
No. I'm saying like the top couple picks where they're like, you're like, this guy is a game changer, will change our franchise.
We haven't had one in a while where it's, we've had drafts where we don't really know who the top pick should be, not because anybody's great. It's been a long time since we've had a discussion like this one, which is who's the best of these really good players. I keep thinking about the 2003 draft, but even that wasn't the same. Like there were discussions about Darko Milicic versus LeBron James, but the bigger part of that draft was that Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade rounded out the top 5, right? That was a great draft class. Hall of Famers all over the place. You've got Jordan's draft was good, but this one's getting hyped up and we're seeing the performance back it up too on the court. Like we're seeing these players at college level live up to their hype. And it is these two at the top. There are some people that as I was looking through this yesterday that think Boozer could be justified as the number 1 pick. So that's what I mean. Like, does this get trading and like, we really need a point guard? Or the Pacers who's like, we don't really need a point guard. Let's just take DeBonsa because he's also a great player. What if DeBonsa? DeBonsa reminds me of Kevin Durant. That's who his game reminds me of. Tall, lean, can score from anywhere. He probably will become a better shooter than he is now. Peterson's already a great shooter. I don't know. It's and if you're the Pacers, look, you could just play Peterson at the 2 and just have 2 point guards. That's not the end of the world either. He's doing that at KU. Sometimes Melvin Council brings the ball up the floor. I really want Peterson to play on Saturday.
You know why this draft feels like it has so much hype? And I don't want this to sound that way it's about to sound, but people have gotten away from the NBA draft because you don't know the players because they all come from overseas. Like, people love the NFL draft because you watch every single one of the players play in college. And I'm looking at a mock draft that we have exclusively Power 5 college basketball players until pick 18. And it looks like there's only 2 picks in the entire first round that would be non-college basketball players. Like that says something about the level of talent that is in college basketball right now. And probably the results of NIL.
Well, yeah, the NIL is going to keep the best players in college. That's for sure. Last year's NBA draft, we saw Power 5 freshmen taken with the top 8 picks. Okay. So the top 8 picks were all guys that were playing college basketball as freshmen last year.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking 2 years ago. You're right.
How many of the top 5 picks of last year's draft could you tell me right now?
Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey.
He was at 5. That was almost too far. Okay.
Oh, that's right. He slipped. Dylan Harper, because they were the 2 Rutgers guys. Was there another Duke player in there?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Okay. That might be all that I know.
Conkaneppel was in there, and VJ Edgecombe. But
Edgecombe,
like
that's right.
we're talking about those 5 guys, and then you look at the call it projected top 5 this year. It's not even close. Where would Cooper Flagg go in this year's draft?
I know that's
Cooper
a fun conversation.
Cooper Flagg, I thought was as good a college basketball player as I've ever seen play. Where would he go in this year's draft?
I mean, you could make the argument that it could be 3.
He could be 3. Yeah, he could. I mean, that's pretty.
Or he could be 1.
Like, it could be 1.
The thing about it that's really fun, if you wanted to ever dig down this rabbit hole, Cooper Flagg or these guys' age, he reclassified a year early so he could be the top pick, basically.
Cooper Flagg's averaging 18.
Probably not the only reason.
6 rebounds a game right now. Almost 4 assists. He's having a great year. Where would he go? It's wild. I mean, it's wild. And if Peterson doesn't play on Saturday, it'll be one of the bigger letdowns in a long time. How long have we been looking forward to this game? I asked that Rachel Hallam for me yesterday. I think it was like December when DeBonsa committed to BYU of that year. We already knew at that point with Peterson, I think. Was it the second these schedules came out? Or did we even need the schedule? Was it just knowing that these 2 guys were going to the same league that we've been excited about this matchup to watch them go head-to-head? And they've been head-to-head before. They've played each other before, but not at this level.
I mean, that was the talk of Big 12 Media Days about the fact that both of those guys were in the same building at Media Days in Kansas City. And it's just like
we'll look back at that. Like someday, I hope we'll look back at that in 5 years and be like, man, how wild was that? That those dudes were just running through the Big 12. Like that's going to be a really cool thing. But that means Peterson's got to play on Saturday. Got to play on Saturday. Like you got to do it now. And this is where we'll get into it with Shreyas Laddha in the next hour when he joins. Like that's where you're starting to talk about how much pressure is there for him to play. Like top pick overall is in question here. Like we're to the point now where DeBonsa's been so good and Peterson's been so unavailable that he may pass him. Peterson doesn't want that to happen, does he? I mean, at some point, you just want to end up on the best team in the best situation in the NBA, but you still want to be the top guy.
Yeah.
And I really want to see these dudes go head-to-head.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think that there's something to be said about, the pride of being the first overall pick. And I think that there's something to be said about, we talk about if it was March, he'd be healthy enough to play. Like, if you're Darren Peterson, maybe Bill Self won't let you if he doesn't think you're 100% there. But if you're Darren Peterson, this would be the one where it's like, I'm fine. Like, it's okay. I'm fine.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's and we also like if you look at these 2 teams who are both really good, who are both playing a really key and important game, especially KU. Like, are these 2 very young guys going to be able to not get caught up in all of this hype and just play their best basketball game, even if it means not scoring 40 or whatever, and just kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that the best version of KU, we know where we're comfortable to see a Peterson shot volume, and if he's making them, just shoot forever. But he doesn't always make them all. And so then it's like, are you willing to kind of pass the torch? Because everybody else on that floor knows what's coming. Game day, all the NBA scouts, everybody's there. Like, this is going to be an interesting coaching job for these 2 guys to try to settle everybody down. Every basketball eye that matters on the planet will be watching that game on Saturday. And you all have that stage, not just those 2 guys. All of you have that stage. Who's going to try to go show something, right? You don't think that's a big opportunity for everybody else on the floor? How many NBA scouts are about to fall in love with Flory Badunga?
How many NBA scouts are about to be in Allen Fieldhouse? You think I'm going to get a press seat? Probably not, because the Brooklyn Nets and the Indiana Pacers are going to be there.
Welcome up to the rafters. Yeah, you'll be up in the corner there. If anywhere. You might be in the back room.
That may be this may be a press room type of day.
Yeah.
I think the only time that I've been not able to get a seat was one of the Sunflower Showdowns and when Indiana was in Allen Fieldhouse, whenever Trace Jackson Davis played for Indiana a couple of years ago. That was a good one.
I think I had one. I had one for the Buddy Hield game, but it was, it was up in that corner.
Oh, yeah. They're always in the corner.
Every other game has been fine that I've been covering them back in the day. They were all packed, but it was always fine.
Can't wait.
Yeah, look, I am really fired up.
I mean, I don't want to be dramatic, but like, is this the biggest, the most hype around a KU game since Grady Dick was there in that year, and and I think that was just exciting because they were trying to win a Big 12 championship.
Yeah, I think you got to define hype, right? Like hype to a KU season, not even close.
Single game.
What I'm saying is like to what's going to happen to them in a season or like implications or anything like that, it's not even close. But when you talk about most viewed, most eyeballs, most attention,
I guess I'll say most
probably
hype. Most hype from non-KU fans is probably this one.
Yeah, I think it will be, because you're going to have every basketball fan now, every NBA fan for sure, but even college, like people are going to be watching this game more than they would normally watch any college basketball game. We'll come back. We got more Sports Daily, another hour coming up for you. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
Welcome back in, everybody. It's another hour of Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland, Max Power producing. 869-1240 is your KFH hotline. Your video comments can come in Facebook, YouTube, X. The Odyssey app is the place you can leave us voice messages. Thanks for watching us as well on 12 News Connected. We've got Shreyas Laddha coming up later this hour. We'll bring him into the Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa debate, and we'll have that conversation and much more. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now pouring the brand new seasonal Bach Lager. Bach, yeah, a cold beer that'll give you a warm feeling. Bach Lager, available at all 3 WBC brew pubs, east near Central and Woodlawn, west at 13th and Tyler, and in historic Delano and Handley. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here.
Jacob,
back in this hour, yes, this would be where we're going to test your headlines that I probably didn't see segment in the future. We're getting that production made right now.
I don't know if I've got any for you this morning. Honestly, I should. I got one here. I don't know if you saw this. I guess the Grizzlies majority owner Robert Pera. You see this one? Reportedly got furious and threatened to buy out all the minority owners after a woman he met did not believe that he owned the team and thought Justin Timberlake did. Per Pablo Torre.
That's not the reason he was in the news yesterday, but I did see that piece. Do you know why he was in the news yesterday?
I guess not. What was in the news yesterday?
Apparently his technology is being heavily used despite sanctions by the Russian military in their campaign. That's why he was in the news yesterday. Not the Timberlake thing was funny, but no, that's not why he was. It's not why he was trending yesterday.
Okay. No, that was not what I was going to say. I don't have any other headlines for you. I'll make sure to dig deeper for this segment.
We're gonna get those. We got some high quality production coming for that too.
We'll make it work there. I'm currently rewatching the K-State game to try to get the grasp of the second half as I was dozing off halfway through it. I've been watching for an hour and I think I've seen 12 points total. This is bad basketball.
I wouldn't advise it. It's bad offense.
Whenever I was in high school, before I, started working in media basically and started covering KU and K-State, I was very much in the camp of I don't want to watch college basketball because what's the point of watching that when I could watch the NBA where the players are actually good? And now I'm very much in the opposite camp of that, where it's like the players are so not good that it's incredible TV to watch. And college football is 10 times what it is in college basketball. Like I've talked to you about this before, but like last night was the peak example of like, this is not good basketball at all. And it just caused chaos for 2 hours.
Yeah, look, I think it's an easier game to consume. I think the things that make you love it are easier to consume at the college level because it's a little slower. It's a little simpler. The NBA, because everybody's so fast and athletic and everything else, they're just like they're moving at a pace that is hard to comprehend sometimes.
It's just
And
they're just too good for their own good, and it just takes like that's like the NBA used to be awesome whenever people your age watching it, and it's just like this is incredible. Like basketball in the '90s is so cool, and now it's gotten to the point where they're all so good that it takes away from the drama of NBA games. Of like people loved watching Michael Jordan play because he was just like nobody else could do the things that he could do. Everybody in the league can do what LeBron James could do. He just does it at a higher clip.
The game has changed, and there's a little bit of this is an interesting rabbit hole because I think about this quite a bit. Like, why am I not the same kind of NBA fan I was 15 years ago? I think the style has changed. Analytics has changed it. It makes sense to take 43s in a game. That's not fun to watch. I don't want to watch a 3-point shooting contest, which a lot of times is the right way to win an NBA game.
It is. And the argument that everybody always makes, my family would always say this because I used to be a major NBA. Like I did not miss Phoenix Suns games. I'm a Suns fan. And I would watch, I'd probably watch 70 a year. Like I was tuned in. And they were like, I'm not watching that because they don't play any defense. It's like they play defense. Yeah. They're just too good at offense so it doesn't make any difference at all.
Well, and the game is so long that they can't bring that energy on every single possession like you would see in college basketball. The season is too long. Now they've got all kinds of problems. Now they've got load management and all this other BS that is a huge turnoff to the sport. It is too dramatic for me I
wrote like a thesis paper on this in high school of why the NFL is the most well-performing sport for audiences. And like nobody sits out for load management because you only play 18 games.
Right.
Like every game matters. If you lose a game, it can completely throw off the outlook of your season. And the NBA and the MLB, it was basically about the MLB of why it has declined, basically. And it's because like the games don't matter. Like they do, but they don't. Like you can lose a game and you can still be the best team in baseball at the end of the day, which you can in football, but it makes it a lot more stressful in football. Like in baseball, like it's not uncommon for load management to be a thing. You talk about the star players get Sunday day games off or something like that quite often in baseball. And so there's a whole bunch of reasons. It's just the reason that the NFL is like the most consumable product in America. Basically.
The main reason is it doesn't have to share its day of the week with anything but one other thing, and that's church. Like, there is NFL and church on Sundays.
Like that's what we talk about this in the newsroom a lot because it pertains to our jobs. But like, there's only really two things that are viewed as appointment TV anymore. And one is when your team plays, you're going to watch. Like people go out of their way to make sure they are free to watch the NFL. And then, you hope it's local news basically. And so it's
we're to a point in college basketball where you watch a game like last night though, and it's painful. You're just like, ugh, that's a hard watch. That was a hard watch last night. It was. I love college basketball because we consume it so heavily here. But I love college basketball because I do think the product is more enjoyable to the simplistic eye, right? Like I've got a very simple brain at this point and a simple amount of energy to expel. And it's easier for me to watch, understand, digest, and like form, and like I can't, like the NBA has passed me by. And the style of play in the NBA, I don't think is nearly as much fun as it used to be because, again, rightfully so, teams shoot a ton of threes. That's not exciting for me to watch. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a 3-point shoot. I want to see, crazy dunks, driving to the basket, all those things. Question from Rick on that real quick. Why didn't PJ just get a good shot at the end instead of foul baiting? But that's a really good question.
That's a rabbit hole if you want to get
drawing a foul is a thing that he does really well.
Yes.
But I cannot imagine ever going into a last minute possession and saying, all right, here's the strategy, everybody. Let's go draw a foul. You still want a good look.
But
right? You still have to take a good shot.
Think back to Oklahoma State. That's exactly what they did, and they said it out loud. They're like, that's why PJ shot a half quarter with 3 seconds left, because we thought that they were going to try to foul us. Like, and I think, I mean, I'm not saying that, led to what happened last night. Andy, if you're listening, correlation, causation. But I don't know. It's not. I don't. And based on the reaction to that, as you brought up at the beginning of the show, like Jerome Tang did not like that shot, and let him know as soon as it happened.
He shouldn't have liked that shot. It was a stupid shot.
It was pretty. Like, I agree with the time that you had on. If you have a shooter of the caliber of PJ Haggerty, even Andre Kostic, you could talk about him. He got playing time last night. Like, you've got guys that can make the three. Like, if you're doing that, like no disrespect to the local kid here, but TJ Williams isn't a three-point shooter. If you've got a chance to do that as TJ Williams, do that every time. If you're PJ Haggerty, you're making that shot. Just shoot the ball.
It's still not, but you still need a good look, right? Like, I also think it's different when you're trailing versus a tie game, let's say. Like, when you have to have the points, you have to have 3 points, take a three. And I listen, I hear this on every broadcast. It's the most cliche thing. They don't need a three here. They can just get a two. I'm like, or you could take a three. Why would you do that? Like, there's 10 seconds left. There's plenty of time. You don't need a three here. You can just take a two and try and stretch this out. And I'm thinking, or you can take a three and try to tie the game. Like, yeah, I could take a two and then have 4 seconds left on an inbound the other way and hope that they miss free throws, or I could take a three. I gotta drive. That's one of my
that is such a. I would love to see. Speaking of math, I'd love to see some probability based on like winning percentage based on teams that take the two instead of the three, because everybody does it, and it seems like it never works. Like, you need a hero shot, but to be fair, if you take the two, you have more. If you take the two, you may have. Yeah, I mean. That's the philosophy you have to have when there's like 30 seconds.
Here's what I know if I miss the three. That I missed the three, right? I know that I did. And now I have, 14 seconds to try and solve that problem, which
it's the argument to a lesser degree of if you are in a tie game in the NFL, or if you're down 7 and you score with no time left on the clock, do you kick the PAT and go to overtime or try to win it right there? And it's like, well, if you kick the PAT and go to overtime, you'd have the chance to win the game. Guess what? You have the chance to win the game in front of you right there.
Yeah, that one's even more of a coin. There's a lot of factors on that. How confident are you in that play? Like, whatever. But God, that drives me crazy. That final shot was kind of a microcosm of the K-State season. All right, we've been stalling. We got to the Bills coaching news.
Don't succumb to the pressure of Brandon Zinner.
I'm not succumbing to the. Brandon wonders why we're not. He texts us privately. Wonders why we're not talking to Bill Belichick. Well, it's because that's a shorter segment that we just had than the one we're about to. Bill Belichick's not in the Hall of Fame. TJ, criminal. It's as bad as I can remember. We'll talk about it next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. We've got a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. We wear our Hawaiians, some of us, to throw the bird to Mother Nature when she does things like have a sub-zero for the song. Another way you can do it is with some iced tea. If you want to trick the season, you can get a free one on us at HTO, good in East Wichita, West Wichita, or in Derby. You can go try one of the more 25 flavors, free cup on us, including the all-new spiced orange. All you got to do is text the keyword T to the short code 20357. That's T to 20357. You can enter once per day. Message and data rates apply. Good luck, everybody. All right, we had a couple of big national headlines. The Bills hire yesterday that had everybody talking. The other one is Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Fame. It's one of those things, like, honestly, when everybody agrees on something, there's a reason for it. There is no justification for Bill Belichick not being in the Hall of Fame. None. Zero. Are you going to tell me Tom Brady's not a first ballot Hall of Famer? Because if your justification is Spygate and Deflategate, then you're good. Then you can't put Tom Brady in as a first ballot Hall of Famer either.
Do you know what it is? Is that it's the voters, the guys that voted no, or the reasons that you're saying, I imagine, or the scandals and stuff like that. I imagine it's them being like, you know what, like just because he did that, he's not going to get to be a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Which is that's a very baseball Hall of Fame thing to do, by the way. It's stupid. You're either a Hall of Famer or you're not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but I think that's what it's like. You know what? I'm going to stick it to the man, and I'm not going to vote for him, but he's probably going to get it anyways. And I bet 10 people did that, and it's like, oh crap, he's on the Hall of Fame.
It's a half joke and a half reality. I mean this, and this is a very, very sad dialogue about society today. If Bill Belichick hadn't gone to be the coach at North Carolina and have a young girlfriend who is in the news all the time, does this happen? Because I would bet you money that this doesn't happen if those two things don't happen.
It's the same thing of it's not the same thing, but it brings up the Russell Wilson thing from this past year that somebody brought up of like Russell Wilson he won an MVP, right? Am I making that up?
Yeah.
He won an MVP, won a Super Bowl, all the things that he did in Seattle. And then when he went to the Broncos and then what he's done since then, that like, I can't remember who it was. Some analyst was like, he has played his way out of being a Hall of Famer. It's like, well, that doesn't work like that, does it? Like,
I don't know if he's won an MVP, by the way, but he's won a Super Bowl. He's been a man of the year. Now I don't know. I don't know how much I should say he's been a Pro Bowler, but he made 10 Pro Bowls. He was Rookie of the Year. He's got enough, but you're right.
Like people, it's recency bias, and that's why. And I agree. I think that like watching him go to North Carolina and whatever you want to say about his girlfriend or whatever, but like
going to North Carolina, whatever, because it's a factor. I'm not kidding. I guarantee you, it's a factor. Now people think like whatever they think, and he's become this pop culture thing and whatever. And like, how do you forget how many Super Bowls he won?
I know. I think. My brain goes to like, he goes to North Carolina and he stinks. And, this is just, we have Patriots fans in our newsrooms that are diehards. And like, they talk about this thing and they're like, it's because like, that really goes to show what Tom Brady did for Bill Belichick. And it's like, yeah, but he won 6 Super Bowls, guy. Like, I understand the sentiment of saying like, well, he was overrated. Still won 6 Super Bowls.
6 Super Bowls over, at minimum 3 different variations of his team. Vince Lombardi won 7 championships, 2 Super Bowls, was a 2-time coach of the year. Bill Belichick's a 3-time coach of the year. Again, it's not even like everyone always says, was it Brady, was it Belichick? It was obviously both. Like, Brady then went on to have tremendous success elsewhere. Even if you let that take something away from Belichick, okay, I'll listen to that. You have to remember how different the Patriots teams were that won and how long a period of time it was. How many years between his first and his last? He won 36 and 53. So what are we looking at there? 27 years? That's too many years. 17 years. 17 years. Math guy. That's crazy because those teams were all so different. Just look at the rosters. Look at how they played football at the beginning of that and at the end of that. Tom Brady, that first Super Bowl, we didn't know who Tom Brady was yet. Yeah. Brady didn't do anything. Go look at his.
I mean, it's silly for us to even sit here and talk about this. Like, it's not a question of if he is a Hall of Famer. Like, the reason that the question is why was he not voted? And it's basically because of whatever you want to make the reason being. But like, you can sit here and pull up receipts.
I want every single
voter
to also not vote for Tom Brady as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I wonder. I don't know how it works in the NFL or the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Because in baseball, votes are public, aren't they? Like, you can see who voted for who.
Yeah, I don't think they are. I don't think they
are either. So that's the other part of that too, is you kind of get to hide behind that. If this was the Baseball Hall of Fame, maybe that wouldn't happen because you can't hide behind that type of thing. So I don't know. Tweet of the day, which by the way, that's a segment we should do. Tweet of the day. Evan Cohen of ESPN Radio tweeted, "Could you imagine how many Super Bowls Tom Brady would have won if he would have played for a Hall of Fame head coach?"
Yeah, I mean, it's just so stupid. It's so Hall of Fames make me so angry sometimes.
That's the other part of this too, is that the Hall of Fame is such a weird, not really any tangible thing that makes you a Hall of Famer. And so, it's a good thing that there is a Hall of Fame, because obviously you need to pay respects to those who built the game and everything like that. But it's also what does it matter if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer or a second ballot Hall of Famer? If there's a guy that should be, it's Bill Belichick. But at the end of the day, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. And it's just, I don't know. It's such a weird thing that people get all up in arms about, I think.
26 on a quick search. If you go by the modern game, 26 quarterbacks are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Do you think Eli Manning is one of the 26 best quarterbacks that's ever played football? The answer to that is absolutely not. Not even close. Not even close. Okay? Not even in the stratosphere of the 26 best quarterbacks that have ever played in the NFL. Okay? He's a Hall of Famer. What makes him a Hall of Famer? A couple Super Bowls,
Tom Brady?
right?
Yeah.
No, Eli Manning.
Oh, Eli Manning. Excuse me. I missed that part. Super Bowls. Yeah. I mean, that's the other part of this too, that is an intangible thing. If you want to keep talking about that, Super Bowls, we talk about this all the time, are not individual statistics, but they're viewed as it 100%.
They are with quarterbacks, not with anybody else.
Yeah.
And
what about head coaches?
Yeah, there's 29 coaches apparently in the Hall of Fame. I believe Belichick has more wins and Super Bowls than all of them. Take the ones in question away. He's still not even close. Not even close. And that's the thing. Again, if you're holding that against Belichick, then those same voters don't get to put Tom Brady in on the first ballot. You can't. You don't get to. And you gotta look at that. And as that person that made that decision, be ready and willing to make that next decision, and they won't do it. They'll put him in. I
agree.
He'll be unanimous.
I think, by the way, we need to ask Shreyas about that. He's a Patriots guy. But I agree. I mean, that's the thing too, is that it's silly. And I guarantee across sports talk radio, across ESPN today, they're going to pull up these headlines and they're going to put up resumes and they're going to say, look at all these wins that they got and look at all these it doesn't matter. That's not the reason that they're not in. And and if anybody tries to justify it as that, they're an idiot.
Well, they won't try to justify it as that, and you can't justify it as that. And so if you can't, right? It's not even a joke. I'm telling you, if he doesn't take the North Carolina job, I'm telling you, if he doesn't have sit-down interviews with his much younger girlfriend, that we're not having this conversation today. And that is the reason and why those people should not be allowed to vote on the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you don't put Bill Belichick in as a Hall of Famer, I don't care first ballot, I don't care any ballot. If you don't vote for him right now, you're saying you don't think he's a Hall of Famer. If you don't think he's a Hall of Famer, then you don't get to have a vote anymore. That should be I'm not even saying that as a joke. If you don't put him in, you don't get to have a vote anymore. You should have it pulled. Somebody has to be hang on a minute. What are your credentials here? That you watched a lot of football? Great, cool. So did everybody else. You don't get to have a vote anymore. Sorry.
Yeah. It's true.
Did the NFL take away those championships in these years in question?
Nope.
So what are we doing?
I agree. I think that it's such a moral high ground for somebody to take. Basically,
it's the stupidest one that nobody cares about. Too.
That's 100% what it is, and that's these guys saying you know what? Nobody's bigger than the game of football. And that's why they're doing it. It's 100% why they're doing
it. Nobody's bigger than the game of football except
me that holds the
and saying I am because I'm going to keep the best that's ever done it out. The one good thing it does is it unites everybody, right? It unites everybody. And that we don't get enough of that. So that I do appreciate that everybody is united in the, excuse me? Sorry, what? What did you say? Bill, but I cannot wait until Tom Brady gets his vote, though. I can't wait. Was that next year? Are we already 5 years clear?
It's like 5-year window.
Is it next year?
Yeah, he played in 2021, I think. So, yeah.
I can't wait for those same voters to have to not include Tom Brady because of Spygate and Deflategate. Can't wait. That's all we've heard, right? That's the only reason anybody's given. And the fact that there's 10 of them.
At least 10. We don't know how many there were.
How many of these writers, God, I wish we knew who they were. How many of these writers do you think cover the AFC East for a living? Cover the teams in the same division as the Patriots?
I guess I don't. I also don't know. The Pro Football Hall of Fame isn't like exclusively
it's a
writers.
50-person selection committee composed of media members from every NFL city, 2 from LA and New York, Pro Football Writers of America representative, and then 17 at-large contributors. I don't know who makes up the at-large contributors.
Okay.
But
I know a lot of people were talking about like a former owner and was
like
in
Bill
there.
Polian is in there, who's a former
that's the one
GM.
that a lot of people,
He was the Spygate thing would have affected him, I suppose. He said that he could not remember with 100% certainty if he voted for Belichick. Said he was 95% sure that he voted for him, according to ESPN's Don Van Natta. It's just like it's spite. It's all spite.
That's the answer that you give your spouse when you get home from the casino. Like, how much did you lose? Like, I can't really recall. It might have been $100.
Now that's some math I am interested in, because how much did you lose?
One of the best stories that I've ever heard. Yes,
there's a lot of ways to swing that. I won this much. Now my wife knows. Well, how much did you bet?
Yes, for us that are degenerates, the only number that matters is the number that you walk in with and the number that you walk out with, and nothing else matters about what happened inside that place.
Well,
my favorite thing
are we talking about when you're talking to your wife? Because that's not true. When you're talking to your wife, the only thing that matters is how much you won, how many times you won. Doesn't matter what you wagered to get there. Just how much of it was a win. That's
for us, for actual gamblers. The only thing that matters is when you walk away from the blackjack table, how much money is in your pocket, not how much money did you have at one point, because that's not real money. That's not real money, people.
Nope.
My favorite story.
You walk up with $500 and you leave with $300. You won $300.
My favorite thing in the world. This was when I was talking to one of my buddies. I think it was on my bachelor trip. One of my buddies I used to play baseball with was talking to, and he's a degenerate. Like, he knows who he is, but he said something along the lines of like, every time I go to the casino, which he probably goes, multiple times a month, he comes home and his wife always asks, like, how did it go? He'll say every single time, I made $50. No matter what happened inside that casino, I made $50.
Yeah. It's my wife knows better than that now. It's always, but how much did you bet? How much did you, whatever. That's the kind of math that we need on this show. Sports betting, I'm a little different. Sports betting, I do consider it all. Like, I consider how much went in versus how much when I'm having those stories and conversations with people. But not the craps table. You kidding me? If the concept of losing like $200 in 12 minutes existed, it would not be a pleasant situation.
Correct.
But that's the reality of it.
There's a reason that casinos give you the chips rather than putting your dollar bills down on the table.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to stomach losing the plastic chips.
God, I love clay chips, I believe. I love craps so much. And when I first moved here and realized that there were craps tables within 20, 25 minutes, there was a moment I was like, boy, I'm really going to want to go play a lot of craps. And I haven't, I've been out there less than 5 times probably to play craps. And that's good. That's a good thing. Poker, I wish they still had a poker room. They don't have a poker room. That's something I need to get back in my life. I do love poker. But yeah, get gambling stories. That's good math. I don't know how we got there with Bill Belichick, but this Polian thing, if that has something to do with it, it just is so stupid. Like, anybody that, like, honestly, it's a simple answer. Open up the ballots, and if you didn't put that guy in, you don't get to have a vote anymore. We can't take you seriously anymore. How, like, if there's not a bias there, like if you don't have some implicit bias, then you're not smart enough to be a voter. Because if you're not smart enough to look at that resume and say he's a Hall of Famer, then you clearly have some type of bias.
Yeah, I feel like that opens a wild can of worms of like, I thought this was a democracy. I could vote for who I want. But also in the same breath, it's like, well, this is kind of a test, man. Like, you kind of failed the test that you get the vote. Like, you were elected a voter to represent the people. And, you know, like, it's a little bit of local politics in this. Like, it's like, you're not representing your people. What are you doing in there?
Yeah, I always say being a politician would not be fun, because if you're really doing your job, you're making a lot of decisions that probably are self-sabotaging and not pleasant, because they're the right decision. And this was not the right decision. I just like what in baseball, and here, like, Belichick wasn't very friendly with the media. I don't know how he was with his peers. His players loved him. But why are some very clearly steroid-associated baseball players in the Hall of Fame and some not? A lot of the time, it's because of the personality of the player. And that's a silly and stupid and ridiculous thing. This is not an opinion vote. This is a resume good enough vote. And it is clearly. Like, there's not a better one out there. So we'll see when Brady comes up. Bill Polian or whoever didn't vote him in, like, you better not put Brady in first ballot, because you can't take that stand against Bill and not against Tom. You can't.
I can't believe Max Power didn't pipe in during this entire conversation.
He did. He sent us a message. He was chiming in on his chops as an assistant.
Excuse me. Yeah, you're right. Bill Belichick should be in because of his assistant time.
Yeah. But there's some hate, and there's some people that are so caught up in pop culture. Like, it's one of the silliest, maybe the most egregious vote snubs of all time as far as the Hall of Fame is concerned. And the fact that didn't come from baseball is even more exacerbating. Just wild stuff. Shreyas Laddha joins us next. Let's talk about what he's hearing from NBA scouts on Peterson DeBonsa and what we look forward to this weekend on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
is Sports Daily on KFH.
And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is a Wednesday here on Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland, joined now by our KU Insider, a beat reporter for the KC Star on KU football, basketball, Shreyas Laddha. You can follow his work on X at SHRE98. Shreyas, welcome in this morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. I want to jump right in. Fran Fraschilla said on the broadcast that he's hearing from NBA people that DeBonce's moving ahead of Peterson. I know you've been following this very closely. You're talking to NBA people. Are you hearing that same thing?
Not at the moment. Obviously, Fran might be talking to different NBA people than I am, but I think DeBonce's clearly had a couple of. I mean, not the last game, but the one before that where he dropped 43. Probably got a lot of eyeballs on that. But I think with Peterson, as long as he's healthy Saturday, which I think hopefully he should be, and he plays well, I think it's kind of a picture of why Peterson's better than Bonza. I have a story coming out probably today or tomorrow. I talked to his high school coach that had coached both guys, and he says unequivocally Peterson's the best player he's ever coached, and he's coached DeBonza, Tyron Stokes, and Peterson, and other good players. I'll have a big story on that. But I think for me, like transitive NBA skill wise, it goes 1, 2, 3, Peterson, DeBonza, Boozer. Boozer might be having the best season of the three, but I don't know if the skill set that he has translates as well to the NBA as the other two. And Peterson's just kind of a bona fide scorer, so it's one of those things that like he's going to get dropped in the NBA, and he's probably going to average 18 a game immediately with NBA facing.
Yeah, Shreyas, when did you get on the beat? 2022, correct? Am I mistaken on that?
Yeah, I joined November 2022. Yeah.
Okay, I made the point. I wonder what your thought is on this. Since I basically kind of was at the same time as you, I can't remember a KU game that had as much hype around this upcoming one. Maybe not from just the KU standpoint, because you make the argument, Big 12 championship run, all that kind of stuff. But from sheer eyeballs, this one may have the most since your time being in Lawrence.
It is immense amount of hype. I can't remember a game that's had this much hype. You're right. I mean, honestly, maybe the UConn game a couple of years ago when they came to Allen Fieldhouse, there's a lot of hype around that. The Donovan Clingan, Hunter Dickinson matchup. But like, no disrespect to Hunter Dickinson, but these are guys who are going to go probably 1-2, in the NBA draft in like a few months. I'm really stoked. I've been excited as a big NBA draft guy. I'm really stoked to see these guys. I don't know how much they're going to, play against each other, but I thought it was interesting. His coach told me Peterson is 2-0 against DeBonza. In one of the matchups, he dropped like 34, 7, and 9. The other matchup, which everyone knows, he dropped 62. And I think like he told me like 37 of it or something like that was on DeBonza, which I don't know how accurate, tracking data is and how they really accounted for that. But clearly Peterson gets up for these games. And his coach was telling me that, he was texting him about this game and how excited he is and he really wants to play. He hasn't really been 100% healthy or fully in rhythm yet. So, if he gets to that level where he's 100% healthy and fully in rhythm, I think we'll see another level to Darren Peterson that we haven't seen.
Well, he's coming off a pretty significant ankle injury. And KU really needs to win this basketball game. So that's where I'm we know where, because we've seen DeBonza healthy all year, we kind of know where he fits in to everything. I don't think totally know that with Peterson yet. He's only played in 10 games. It's been limited in most of them. How much do you think Bill Self wants that environment of Peterson trying to go ham here and not just continue to do what's made KU really good lately? That's what are we is Bill Self comfortable if Peterson rolls out there and shoots it 20 times, or are we, more likely to see him play within the offense that's been working for KU lately?
I mean, I think there's going to be some level of this is my time. I'm going to take the ball and do what I do, right? Like that's what you get when you sign these guys that are big time NBA guys, future NBA stars. There's going to be moments like that. But I think Peterson, from what I gather, is not going to make it all about him. His high school coach was kind of talking about that yesterday, not in the sense of shooting the ball, et cetera, but his priority right now is being 100% healthy and helping Kansas basketball win games. His high school coach emphasized that to me. He's like, I think people must understand that it's not about, this thing. And this is something I had talked to him, just kind of casually. And he was like, I've told you guys this before. If Peterson decided to not play another college basketball game, his draft stock is not really affected. He's still going top 3, okay, at worst. He wants to play because he clearly cares. And, he wants his Kansas legacy to be as big as it can possibly be. And he just loves playing basketball. He's a competitive guy. You're right, though. I'm curious to see the game flow of things, especially because, it feels like they did a better job of kind of putting him within the offense as of late. But if the other guys are cold, I could see it becoming a Peterson-Karius matchup.
Number 14 versus number 15 in the KenPom it says something about what this matchup. I mean, is there just sheer basketball? Obviously, those two guys are going to draw all the headlines on this thing. But I mean, you talk about Richie Saunders at BYU, they were really, really good, and then they added, the number 2 player in the country, and then this KU team has really found their stride. Just sheer college basketball. This one feels like it's going to be heavyweight.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time there's been this much hype around a matchup, even from people who don't really care about college basketball. You know, like not to be like date myself here because I was not alive in this moment, but I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe Magic Bird type hype. I don't know if that's asinine to say. Like I'm trying to think what else
college level.
In the college level, yeah, Magic Bird back when they matched up back in the 70s, 80s. I don't know when.
How about Bird Mo Cheeks at the Amarillo Civic Center back in the Missouri Valley? Shout out WT. Go Bucks.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I'm trying to think in the 2000s, like what's been the other hype matchup? I saw Henry just came out with a story talking about the last time the 1 and 2 matched up was Chet Holmgren and I think Pablo Benchero or whatever.
Ooh.
But I don't think there was as much hype around that matchup.
Is this? No.
I don't think so.
No.
Here's the other part of this. KU's playing really well, Shreyas. They figured out
yes
how to play defense again. It's pretty obvious what's happening to them. They lose the games. They don't play very good defense. They win the ones that they do. There hadn't been a team in this win streak currently that scored more than 70 points. Most of them in the low 60s. That's got to be the formula for BYU, who's a great offense, right? Can they do that? Can they play that level of defense against this level of offense?
I absolutely think they can, right? But the thing you have to remember is DeBonza's going to get his. Like, there's going to be moments where DeBonza plays perfect offense on an excellent defense, and he just makes a tough bucket. That's kind of what these guys do, right? That being said, I thought Kansas had an excellent defensive game plan against Iowa State. They were excellent there, which is a pretty good offensive team. I expect, this game to be one of those like 75, 72 type games, where KU comes out on top. I feel good about this KU team, a lot better than I felt at the beginning of the year, beginning of the 2026, really, because I feel like the defense, like we talked about it, this team is built on defensive identity. What they do on the defense end of the side is going to determine how far they go in March. Peterson and the other guys playing good on offense is great, but you don't want to get into a shootout with this team. Like I just don't think they have the offensive firepower outside of Peterson to be consistent in a shootout. And obviously Trey White's been tremendous. Flory's been great lately. And, they're getting contributions from guys off the bench once they've shortened the rotation. Sorry. But I think the goal, like I've always said, is if you play excellent defense, like top 5, top 10 in the nation defense, your ceiling is much higher than if it's built around offense because, everyone knows when the tournament time comes around, like the game gets tightened, like things get harder, shots come harder to get by, and it's just more of a frantic, crazy pace in March.
I feel like we're just going stir crazy a little bit. The fact that there's not a midweek game leading into this one too is adding to all this stuff. I'll backtrack us to give us something else to talk about here. Sunflower Showdown this past weekend in Bramlage. Say what you want to say about KState, but for this matchup, they always find a way to make some kind of storyline. They always find a way to pack out the place. Like I told a bunch of people, like the recipe felt like it was there for K-State to pull off another one. Like no Peterson playing, like they could score a boatload of points really quickly. Like it felt like it wasn't out of the realm of possibility. It was only like a 4.5 point spread, I think is what it ended up being. What does that say to be able to go in there and get a 24-point win after losing 3 straight in Manhattan?
Well, I think it's freaking huge. Not to understate it, but I felt like this is the first time I've seen in 3 years that Bill Self is out there smiling when Kansas is doing all the antics they're doing at the end of the game. He wasn't happy about the Trey White dunk, but I think internally he was probably like, "F you, man! Like I want to win this game." Like everyone knows K-State has KU circled, not to be like it's their Super Bowl, but it is their Super Bowl, just like KU football Super Bowl is K-State. And let's say that out loud. I think it is a tremendously big thing to not downplay the rivalry. That's always my one thing with Lance Leipold. Like, I think he's an excellent coach, but I think downplaying rivalry games is always going to hurt you in the long run. I think you want guys who care. Melvin Council cares. Trey White cares. Flory cares. Darren Peterson care. Like, all these guys clearly care about winning games that maybe they won't even be here for next year, but it doesn't matter. They want it badly. Melvin Council doing the little dance was hilarious.
Yeah, Shreyas learned about the Wabash last week.
Yeah, that was the first time. I had no idea that was called that, to be honest with you. And then I thought the locker room celebration afterwards, it was even funnier. Him literally hitting a belt against the ground
with Bill Self smiling is the best part of that video.
Look, don't you want those guys to even know what it is? They've never seen it before, which means they went and they found it.
Yeah.
And to your point.
That's what I'll ask you this. In the post-game press conference, Jacob, I don't know if you saw this. The comment that Self made about like the state of college basketball in these type of games, he said something along the lines of like, these guys probably won't even be here next year, but I will be. Like, I wanted to win.
Yeah.
But that's the amount of, like, you need that buy-in from your team. I felt like they didn't have that buy-in the last 2 years. That's why they got punked by K-State. Like, this was, like you said, a perfect opportunity to get punked by K-State at a time where they desperately needed a win. And instead, they blew them out without Peterson. And that tells you this team and last 2 years' teams are just completely different in their mentality, the way they think, and the way they play in games like this on the road.
As long as they look, the Big 12, the Big 12 has 6 teams that could win a national championship this year. I don't have KU is looking like one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's got to be. They're playing well enough. We'll see if they can get it done. Shreyas will get you all prepared for the BYU game and for the hype train of Peterson versus DeBonce at the KC
Hold on,
Star.
30 seconds, Shreyas. Is Bill Belichick a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely. That's my goat, man. I'm a Patriots fan. I don't know if you guys know. I'm a big
we know.
fan.
Yeah. Good luck.
I need the Patriots to win against the Seahawks. I'm getting a lot of group chats about this and that. I will never shut up if they do it. The Bostonian in me, even though I have never lived in Boston, I lived in Rhode Island for 8 years, is going to come out. The mass hole, I'll be insufferable. So,
all right, next week we'll get your prediction next week. Shreyas, follow along. We'll be right back.